Welcome everyone, welcome to a brand new series and a brand new Let's Play. So I'm going to start a series I haven't really got a name for yet. I'm going to be playing, probably a lot of Game Boy Advance games for you guys, and I don't know, we might call it Pocket Play, or that sounds a little bit dirty, but, Let's Pocket. I'm not sure, but maybe Let's Pocket. I don't mind Let's Pocket. So, we're going to do that. We're going to play, today, some Fire Emblem, or at least the start of it. Hopefully it looks alright. It works. I'm going to just actually get into the game here and talk as I go. So we're going to start a brand new game. Prologue of Girl from the Plains. Tactician, travel across the Lieb, set your name, birth, month, and gender, use control pad, blah blah blah. Yeah, I know. I am going to be... Oh, I can't... There's no way it's going to fit TheOzzieNerd, so how about... TheOzzieNerd. There, looks good. Birth month will be my birth month, which is July, and my gender is, indeed, male. I believe that's done. Yeah, so I have played this game before. It's one of my all-time favorite games. The Fire Emblem series is awesome. If you love, tactical type sort of strategy games, turn-based stuff, Fire Emblem is the top. There's my girl, my bae. And the Game Boy Advance versions of Fire Emblem, I've got them on, I think Game Boy Advance ones are the ones that I originally got into. What an odd-sounding name. Hey now! You're right, but let's just calm down, alright? Yeah, the Game Boy Advance ones are the games that I originally got into in this series, for sure. This would be the first one I played, and then I played... Sacred Stones? I think that's the second... Not the second one, but the next one on the GBA. Oh no, bandits! So this whole prologue's like a tutorial, and I already know how to play, so I'm not paying that much attention to it. But, yeah, as I was saying, I played Sacred Stones. I don't think there was another one on the Game Boy Advance. Not an English one. I think there was the one that translates to... I don't remember, but the one that everyone from Japan knows, which is the one with Roy and Marth in it. Which is set, after this one. Most of the Fire Emblem games are sort of it's very Final Fantasy, where each of them's a self-contained story. But some of them, like this one and the one with Roy and Marth in it, this is the prequel to that one, because the one with Roy and Marth in it, Roy and Marth are actually the children of the main characters in this one, so it's a direct relation and direct following. So now you're about to see combat for the first time. Pretty standard affair. If you've played Advance Wars on the Game Boy Advance, which I also love, this all looks very similar, but this is obviously swords and sorcery type deal. But the best thing about this game is the animation, so let's just enjoy this combat. They all have such a good... it's the same animation every time, it's the only real complaint, but they all have such, they nail the feel. Because, Lynn's got that sort of Ronin samurai look, and that's what it is. She does the one, the draw and kill, I forget what they call it. But it's, it's not draw the sword then attack, it's the draw is the attack, that type of thing. And it's like that with everyone. Sort of all the units in this, you sort of look at them and, the bandit's a good example, you look at him and you're like, oh, he's a bit of a bruiser, so his attack's got not much finesse. And they've really nailed that whole thing. But anyway, as I was saying, so... I will digress a lot in this. I played those two on the Game Boy Advance, that got me into it. I never actually got a DS. I was never fortunate enough to buy one, or have one. But I do have a 3DS, and I am playing and have played the shit out of Awakening. Fire Emblem Awakening, I believe it is amazing. Straight up is probably, like, coming from these ones and never playing the previous ones and then going to Awakening with the system where you, like, increase their support and then they have a child together and you get the child. That's crazy, because these games are like half strategy combat and half like dating sim nearly. Oh, there's a critical. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. They, like, criticals look excellent. So how do we go for level up? Okay, so we just didn't increase defense, res, and constitution. I think that will be fine. I think it's like the first 5 chapters of this one are very tutorial-y. Oh, I should point out, because this is a different series, and I don't think the game will go on that long, like, I don't know how many episodes will be in this. If we complete 1, maybe 2 chapters an episode, it will go really quick. I think there's like 30 off the top of my head. So I won't be doing a full double episode for this one, it'll just be the single episode, just a one 30-minute block. Talk to you about something. The Ways of War, yes, because that's the thing. In these games, or at least in this one in particular, like, you remember I had to pick my name and stuff at the start. That's because I am the one controlling them, because in this world, my role is, like, my class is tactician. So I'm, like, giving the orders. I'm the commander. I'm the strategist. And they all just listen to me for whatever reason. Like, Lynn, she's a nice chick. She's the bae. And everything. But then you get, like, later on you get Eliwood. Or Elwood. I don't remember which one it is. And Hector. And they're both, like, lords. They're both, like, princes. And yet they still defer to your judgment on how to attack. So that's really quite strange. But whatever. You just bear with it. Yeah, so yeah, I play Awakening on 3DS. Incredible. I would easily say 100 plus hours into that. I don't think my 3DS is charged at the moment, so I can't even check. But it was absolutely like an eternity. And then the next one I played was the one that should probably be in my 3DS. I'll actually check if it is charged, which is Fire Emblem Fates. Yeah, I know. By pressing select. So let's see. You get the clicky sound of my 3DS opening. There you go. Does it have power? It does. It does have power. So how many hours have I put into Fire Emblem Fates? Because I bought all the expansions for this one. So this one I have, like, all the DLC. It's basically just Awakening but better. And I have... Sorry, things are happening here as well. She's moving to another city. I'll be honest, I don't really give a shit about the first 5 chapters. It's all tutorial crap. It's kind of hard to lose. Alright, let's see. Okay. I have, on this one, I have 4 saves. I have a 42-hour save, an 11-hour save, a 41-hour save, and a 17-hour save. So, what's that, about 120 hours? About 120 hours thereabouts. So that just shows you how good these games are. So what makes these games so good? Well, it's not just a strategy game. For a start, as I said, it's like partially dating sim. Ah, this is... Oh, who are you? You're not Seth, are you? Seth is in Sacred Stones. Who are you? It's like, is it Sane? Sane! Because I was like, I know what his name is. His name is Kent. And I was like, it's Kent and who? Kent and who? Ken and Sane, that's it. Yeah, such a weird name. But yeah, so it's part dating sim, so a lot of your people have what they call a support gauge, and it's like, if they fight next to each other, it increases their support, they have conversations outside of battle, and it increases their... I think it does have a gameplay effect, it like increases their stats, I believe, like one of their stats, depending on the level and the type of relationship it is. It also affects their ending, so at the end of the game you get like a blurb about what each of them does, and it affects that, because if two of them get together, they might like stay together, and then it completely changes their fate, right? Because they, in one timeline, I guess, they didn't have a wife or something, whereas now they do. Which is really, really nifty. Sorry, tell me in the comments if it's annoying that I'm talking over all this stuff. Like, obviously there's no voice acting. Hopefully I'm not skipping through it too fast. There's nothing really exciting happening here. It's just like, no, we're being attacked. Oh, I won't give up. We're gonna fight this. Here are Sane and Kent to save the day because they're knights and she's a helpless damsel in distress. Not really, but they don't know that. Here's these ruffians mean to do you harm. If it's a fight they want, let them look to me. It's pretty good, but as I was saying, so yeah, there's that element, and then there's the most important part and why everyone loves Fire Emblem as a strategy game, where you get this limited pool of characters. So as you go along, you learn, like, you get new characters. It's all really cool. Each one has their own personality. They're all unique in their own way. They can have the same class, but they don't have the same stat growth, or they don't have the same, you know, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. But if you lose one in combat, they are dead. They are dead forever. I love knights with lances. I think that attack animation is so, like, traditional and really cool. Yeah, weapon triangle. Swords beat axes, axes beat lances, lances beat swords. I can even tell you the magic weapon triangle, which is light magic beats dark magic beats anima magic, and anima magic beats light magic. So it's basically like light magic beats dark magic beats nature magic beats light magic. Bows beat everything, because you can't attack in melee. The big advantage of magic over, for example, a sword is that magic can attack at any range. Like, bows can only attack with a square away. So, like, most melee weapons attack adjacent. So a bow, it's gonna give me a thing. I would be able to attack from here. Magic, I can attack from here, I can attack here and here. So it doesn't matter, like, if they close, you still can attack both times, whereas if a melee person attacks an archer, the archer just cannot attack back, which is really bad. And I think that's all there is to this one. Because it's really basic. They really, like, up the system in... like, Awakening and Fates, where they added the dual attack and dual defense stuff, but that's completely different. I know that's not in this one, I just don't know how deep it goes into other things. But yeah, like, these games are so cool. I hope you guys bear with me, because it's hard to judge from the first 5 chapters when they don't give you any freedom. They're like, oh, pick me, and if I try to pick someone else... yeah, evasion, blah, blah, blah. So, like, it wants me to select Kent. If I try not to, so, like, if I select Lynn, it will pull me away, and it goes, direct me to attack, I'm ready and I'm able. Like, I just can't do it, it won't let me. So, when you attack, you look at all the stats, so on the screen on the right here, it shows the current HP of both. The MT is the amount of damage. I don't know what MT means. I'm sure it's really straightforward and I just don't get it. I've always just pictured it as, like, amount of damage. The hit is the percentage chance to hit, so I'm blue side, I've got 90% chance to hit, he's got 26%, and the critical is a percentage chance of getting a critical hit. So at the moment I have 3 and he has 0. So you have to sort of weigh everything, look at the chances, and decide, you know, how to attack. Yeah, woods are advantageous. So we'll see if I'll be able to get through this game without losing anyone. I'll try not to. I'll probably reload if I lose people, because it sucks. Every time you lose someone is a massive, just, like... It's a massive, loss. You know, you never get that person back, and you may never get someone that even replaces their role, so... You have to sort of be really, really careful with who you take on missions, and... who you end up hiring in the first place. Because you want to hire basically everyone you can. But you might not necessarily want to bring them on missions. But then at the same time, if you don't take them on a mission, they don't get healed. Yes, I know. Thank you. And we'll get you to use your Vulnerary. Done. Vulneraries are crap, they just heal 10 health. But this early on in the game, when everyone's got only like 20 health, I guess they're fine. My angel. Lynn's just like, well, I have none of that shit. Okay, seems like we get a little bit more freedom now. Because it just gave me the direction to win the battle, basically. It's like, I know you were going to do other things, but you don't win this battle until everyone's dead. So you can do things like, so I can check out their weapons and whatnot, so this is their stats screen. And you can do this, which is like your help thing. The really cool thing I like about this is if you hover over, because you can get help with like literally anything on this sheet that you don't understand. Right? And if you hover over there, it like tells you sort of their backstory in a couple of sentences. So it's like a young girl from the Lorca tribe, stout-hearted and kind, and she's a lord, a noble attached to a ruling house, has great potential. Whereas Sane, a knight in service to House Kaylin, a bit of a scoundrel, and he is a cavalier, who mounted units with superior movement is what they do. I'm actually going to, because I can also see where you can move, I'm going to wait, because he's going to have to attack me into woods, and he'll be in plains, so he'll have a low as hell chance to hit. I love that in movies. So, I've also, like, unrelated, I also love, and I have been playing, like, Way of the Samurai 4, and it captures that quintessential samurai experience. It's also very silly. I will admit, Way of the Samurai 4 is my first, my first foray into the series, and a lot of people say that Way of the Samurai 3 is, like, infinitely better. But I love 4. And considering it's such a, like, arguably small game in terms of, like, actual story, I've played through that story an innumerable number of times. It's crazy. Nice. Yeah, any of the, like, fast sword wielders in this, the samurai type deal, they all are so badass, because they're, like, their dodges will just be one little thing. One little movement to avoid. I think the Sword Master you can get later on as a class, their dodge is they literally just like tilt slightly to the right. They just like bend from the hips to the right, and it's like the idea is that the sword, you know, just went grazing past them, like barely missing them as it went through. So a little trick you can use here is this guy, he won't move, right? If I go... Oh, okay, it shows you that he will, but he won't. Generally, the ones that are the leader will never actually move. So if I look at this, so before it's my turn again, it will actually be 2 attacks. So if he hits me twice, I'll lose 14 health, but I'll still have 5, so that's okay. Cursed knights, always tampering in others' affairs. So yeah, that's something you have to keep in mind when you fight bosses, usually. Like, sometimes it might be worth it to just move up to them and stop next to them, because then you only have 1 attack between now and then before you're safe. So if you can't survive 2 attacks, it might be worth it to not go for 2 attacks, if that makes sense. Same thing, you can survive that easy enough. And we'll probably get the killing blow with Lyn. I really want to get Lyn maxed out as fast as possible, because when she becomes a greater lord, she's pretty friggin' good. And he's actually going to get himself killed, so... Damn it. I should have considered that. I didn't do the thing I just said. Blast! I was only supposed to be a lone girl. And he's gone. Pew pew pew. Look, there's nothing wrong with getting Cavaliers leveled up either. Ooh, no strength upgrade though. Kinda sucks. It's blah blah blah. So, the games also do like a... They follow archetypes, which is really interesting. It's like one of the, I don't know, traditions of Fire Emblem, where you have people that have a certain archetype. A lot of the archetypes are... from what I understand, check it on the Fire Emblem wiki. It's really interesting stuff, the way they've sort of done it in every game, but you get a lot of characters that like... So the best example is, I don't remember what character it's based off, but in this one I believe it's Marcus you get. The character's name is Marcus. He's a paladin, so a paladin is an upgraded cavalier. Yeah, that's right, it's like... Because that's what you find out, is that Lyn is actually, like, royalty. But she was sort of taken... Well, I don't know if she's taken away or she ran away or something. But yeah, that's basically what they're talking about there. So she's actually the daughter of a Marquess, or a granddaughter of a Marquess or something. Or sorry, Marquis, I guess would be the title. Yeah, so in this one I believe it's Marcus. In Sacred Stones it's Seth. Where they're an archetype whereby the character is really strong. They start off like promoted, they will just butcher their way through everything, they'll have no worries pretty much. But they have one of the lowest growth potentials in the game. So because they already start promoted, they have a really low growth potential because they are stuck with the stats that they started with. So if you think about it, right? Kent and Sane, they're Cavaliers, they started at level 1, so level 1 Cavaliers, every level they get growth, so they can increase stats, blah blah blah, right? And then when they get to at least level 10, you can promote them to a Paladin, or you can wait until level 20, so you can take all the growth from Cavalier and then level them up to a Paladin, which takes them to a level 1 Paladin. So a level 1 Cavalier gets 40 levels, to get to Paladin 20, which is the max for a Cavalier. Whereas if you start as a Paladin, I think Marcus starts at level 4 or 5, I think? It's somewhere around the low, like, under 5, I believe. So, assuming he starts at, like, level 4, he only has 16 levels of growth. So that's the archetype. In every Fire Emblem game, you always get one like that, where there's one character that you'll get at the start of the game that's really, really OP, but you pretty much shouldn't use them, because like, they will end up being worse than everyone else in your party, because they don't get as much stat increases, or as many stat increases, rather. It was just really interesting. Or the other archetype is one where they start really shit, and you'll have to, like, babysit them and sort of make sure they don't get killed by everyone at the start. Like, every shit enemy will be able to one-hit them and stuff like that. But if you can actually get them experience and level them up, they become way, like, not overpowered, but super powered. Like, they are one of your best units that will, sort of contrary to what happened at the start, you will just be able to absolutely, like, crush any enemy, pretty much, barring, like, big boss enemies, but most of them you'll just be able to have no worries with. You'll go through them like butter. So it's really interesting that, if you want to read about that, you should really look it up on the Fire Emblem wiki and just look up archetypes, because it is in every single game. It's like a trope of the games that's what they do. Which is really cool. Yes, cavalry can move again. Let's go over here. Yeah, that's fine. Doo-doo-doo. So we probably end at this chapter. Ugh. So in the next episode we should get through like the full thing. Right. Fortresses, more protection, and they heal you, right? Yeah. Blah blah blah. I don't need to know that. Won't go there, that'll be dangerous. We'll go there, though. And Sane can go up here. I don't believe the bandit's going to attack him, it should attack Kent. Yeah, because he's got a higher chance to hit Kent than he does Sane. Makes sense. Do-do-do-do. Ba-ba, ba-ba. So the objective of this one is to seize the throne. Rather than kill the final boss, that's not the objective. If I kill the final boss, good. But that doesn't win me the match. I have to place my lord on the throne. I'm gonna keep trying to get Lyn as much XP as possible. Because Ken and Sane should still get XP from attacking. They won't get half as much. You get 90% of your XP from killing. But getting attacked should give them enough XP to stay competitive. Oh, that was actually a dangerous attack. I didn't think about that much. So this guy will die. And, like, you can upgrade their equipment, so at the moment I've only got iron swords and whatnot. I think it maxes out at silver, is the highest damage potential. So this is one of those examples, right? So if I attack, so let's look at this. Actually, that'll be okay. Bad example, but if this guy had done, say, what, 10 damage. So if he'd managed to do 10 damage, it would be silly of me to attack him. I would be better off waiting, just moving him next to him, and then if he attacks me, I only take 1 set of damage as opposed to 2. Like, really big difference there. So I believe the way this works is that at this stage in the game, cavalry can't go over mountains. So if we want to go this way, we can only send Lyn. So mountains or hills? Oh, it is mountains. Alright, we'll smash through here eventually. There's no... For most missions, there's no need to go fast. There's no time limit on most missions. And the ones that do have a time limit, it's blindingly obvious. Actually, I suppose it's not entirely true. There is another kind of, like, soft time limit, so can he actually reach me this time? He can, so he probably will. The AI is pretty simple. Generally speaking, if they can reach you, they will, and they'll attack the one they have the best chance to hit and or kill. Oof. So same with this. So the thing here is, while they do have another person nearby, like the fighter up there, the dude with the sword, I think they're called mercenaries in this one. While he's there, he won't actually move to attack me, because you remember the objective is to seize the throne, so the AI is like, nice, critical hit. Choo choo choo, boom. Yeah, you remember it's seize the throne, so the AI is sort of like tethered to the throne, because they know that if they leave, there is a chance that I will just run in and take it from them. So, because of that, no matter what I do, they will never try to leave. He will always just stand there. So I should use a lance on this guy. It will do 11 damage. How much does my iron sword do if I attack? Okay, so I do 6 by 2, so that's okay. I think we'll do that. We'll attack with Kent or Sane with the lance. Who do you think you are? What chance do you think you have against me? Against Glass, the mercenary. So, while Saint and Kent are both Cavaliers, they actually don't start with the same stats and they don't have the same growth. So Sane, I believe, gets a lot more growth in like raw damage, but he pretty rarely gets 2 hits. So double hits like Lyn gets because she's fast are the king of this game. You want to get as many double hits as you can, because double hits give you the best chance of killing. Single hits are good and all, but you gotta do a lot of damage, and they're better used to like batter an enemy down before one of your double hitters comes in to break them down. The only other reason is you need... Again, like, generally speaking, you need heavy hitters to break through armor, because your double hitters might be a bit weak, so they might not do any damage, even with 2 hits. Alright, we will seize the throne. Blah blah blah, and then I get the Sword of Awesomeness. Token of gratitude, I shall allow you to lay hands on the Mani Caddy. What? Dude? Oh, come on, where's the picture? Where's the awesome picture? Looked into your soul and they call to you. What does that mean? It means you get the Mani Caddy, Lyn. Yeah, you are its rightful owner. Yeah. Draw it from its sheath. Yeah, there's the picture. Badass. And now I get the Mani Caddy, which is a super strong sword. Only has like 40 attacks in it though. So it's the classic gamer conundrum of it's like, here is this thing that will break. Don't use it very often, and then you get into this mindset of like, nah, I don't need it. Like, I'll save it, I'll attack with something else, and then you get to the end of the game, and you've still got the Mani Caddy, which is, by this point, basically never going to be used. Because I think later on you get the Soul Caddy, which is better. So it's like, if you haven't used a Mani Caddy by that point, then you're never going to again, basically. Ooh, we're getting some story now. What? Madeline's daughter is still alive? Yes, Lord Lundgren. The girl is traveling with Kent and Sane. What are your orders? If we let them be... Ah! I've heard that northern burn is full of bandits. She's just a girl. She'll not survive her journey here. I'm more concerned with my older brother. His life must be ended quickly. The poison. There must be no blunders. Yes, my lord. He suspects nothing and continues to drink it. The Marquess's death, due no doubt to sudden illness, is not far off. Ha ha ha, soon. Soon Kaelin will be mine. Dun dun dun. Better mercenaries. So we'll just skip through this, and as soon as we get in, we'll end the episode there. And we'll probably recap this at the start of the next episode anyway, so no real worries there. Ooh, Pegasus. Love me some Pegasus Knights. Blah blah blah. When we get out of the prologue, I'll, you know, actually put a lot more attention into like the story of it, because it is a pretty good story, but at this stage it's all just like, oh no, we are traveling to, what is it, Kaelin? My grandfather or whatever is sick, blah 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 blah. Here's a new person. Yeah, wait right there, little lady. I will say this game's got a bad case of like, with the portraits and pictures and stuff, it's like, guess which one's the bad guy and which one's the good guy, and you know, a bad case of like anime bloody guess who's the main character syndrome, because all the other enemies look super generic. See, like Florina, good guy, obviously a main character, not a main character, but one of your party. And then you look at all the enemies, like all the bandits and stuff, and they just look so generic. Which I find really funny. It's like, if you put them all in a crowd, you'd be able to tell who your party was. Like this guy. Look at this guy with his mutton chops. How dreadfully generic. He's just got a green shirt on, brown hair. This guy's got a red headband, so, you know, he's special. So silly. Yeah, come on. I know. I should have just started at, like, chapter 7 or whatever it is after this is done. Can't I disable this? Info off, there we go. That should hopefully get rid of it. But anyway, we are going to leave this episode here. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you like this video, you like this game, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more content from me, the Aussie Nerd, feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you think you know any friends of mine who enjoy my content, make sure you share a video or two with them. I really appreciate it. And finally, if you want to leave any hints, tips, tricks, feedback for videos, or you just want to say hi, make sure you do so in the comments section down below so that I can see it. And I'll see all of you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.